Good morning, everyone. I call meeting number 541 of Blue Quest to order. I will now mute all the participants. You have the option to unmute yourself, but please don't do that. Meeting number 541 of Blue Quest Toastmasters is now in session. Welcome to meeting number 541 of Blue Quest. I am Rupinder Singh, acting Sergeant at Arms for today. We provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. You're now inside the code of conduct of a Toastmasters meeting. Please be advised that the meeting is being recorded and we can pause the recording if you so desire. Just let me know a little bit in advance. I am covering the meeting rules for everyone. Audience, please be advised that any behavior that disturbs the flow of the meeting will result in removal from the meeting room without any warning. This removal can be permanent. Please ensure that your noise-making devices are either switched off or on silent mode. We do not want them ringing while you are speaking. Please speak responsibly about religion, sex, and politics in your speeches. Understand that we have an international audience. As far as possible, keep your videos on, audio off, and applause flowing throughout. Role players. Toastmaster of the meeting, table topic master, and general evaluator, please ensure a smart audio video check before handing over to respective role players. I would request the role players to please rename yourself as role player hyphen your name hyphen your club name. You may omit the club name if you are a member of Blue Quest. Guests, please rename yourself as guest hyphen your name, your club name. If you do not have a club name, just guest hyphen your name so that you can be called out by the table topics master for delivering a table topic. Please acquaint yourself with the role of the timer. The timer will be using background change to indicate time using one of the three cards. Green means that you've reached the minimum qualifying time. Yellow indicates that it's a good time to start concluding. Red means that you have 30 seconds or more or you will be disqualified. Individual session timings will be explained in due time. We encourage you to use Zoom emoticons generously to encourage role players. We sincerely request you not to send chat messages to everyone or the speaker on stage. You can do so while the transition is happening. Reiterating, please stay on mute until specifically requested to unmute. If I was to summarize all of these rules, I would simply say, be the kind of audience you want for yourself. One last thing, that polls will be launched after each section and they will be closed after 30 seconds. Now, I will take this chance to introduce our presiding officer because our presiding officer is now the presiding officer of a President's Distinguished Club. We became President's Distinguished day before yesterday. Can we have a round of applause to that? And with that, for 2 years running and about 9 years before that, so we had a gap of 1 year, we were either distinguished or until President Distinguished all along. We won a golden gavel along the way as well. All this is testament to some of the hard work, to the efforts of all the presidents, and this year in particular, Kapil Kakkar leading the way and followed by his very capable team. And as I call him on stage, I have just one word for him. Thank you, Kapil, for leading us through these somewhat troubled waters. And feel proud that you are the presiding officer today. Over to Kapil.
Thank you, Rupinder. Thank you for the kind words. I welcome all the members and the guests in our meeting number 541. First, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Melata, Roli, guest Kin NG, Laxmi, Raman, guest Deepraj, and of course our old Shakti is not a guest, but Shakti, welcome back after such a long time. Well, as Rupinder mentioned that we are President Distinguished Club now. So this is the highest status a club can get. And you get this status when at least you achieve 9 out of 10 goals. So we have achieved 9 goals. So one more to go. Hopefully we can achieve that by the end of June. So wow, well done team. Thank you. Now it's my pleasure to invite a person who inspires me a lot. Not because he's a great speaker, but because he can give a speech at any time of the day. You know, last time I had a call with my US colleagues and I was feeling very sleepy. I reminded myself of this man and I got instant energy. He worked like an anti-sleeping drug for me. So please join your hands together for welcoming our Toastmaster of the day, Rupinder.
Thank you, Kapil. I think you just compared me to coffee, probably the best anti-sleep, or an apple. Apparently, an apple is something you can have instead of coffee, and it's a better thing to knock off sleep because it is healthy as well. Good morning, everyone. I am proud to be your Toastmaster of the meeting today. As I look out on the participant board, I see that we've got 16 participants with a new URL. I think that is an achievement. To put things in perspective, last week, the last week actually, the executive committee of BlueQuest got together and we decided to take advantage of the discounted pricing of Zoom and purchase a Zoom license for ourselves. Until now, we had been using the Zoom account from Turning Point Toastmasters, and we are immensely thankful to Turning Point Toastmasters. Speaking of Turning Point Toastmasters, that is a club that will probably give us the goals for next year. It achieved Hall of Fame yesterday. By the time this meeting ends today, I want us to be sufficiently inspired to go for Hall of Fame in the coming calendar year. But that's by the time we end. What about now? Well, a typical Toastmasters meeting, especially the ones at BlueQuest, are divided into 3 parts. We have the prepared speeches, where speakers prepare their speeches and deliver them, and they are evaluated by respective speech evaluators. We also have, after that, we have the table topics session, where even guests can participate and you are invited on stage to deliver a speech for about 1 to 2 minutes. Today, we have distinguished Toastmaster Shaurendra Bhaumik as the table topics master, and he has specifically requested for extra time because his theme is going to be storytelling. I am excited, and I'm also disappointed that I cannot participate as a table topic speaker because I'm a role player today, because I love to tell stories, especially around food. Okay, I'm getting carried away. The third and the final session, but the most important session, this is where learning happens, is the evaluation section. You see, everyone gets evaluated, and that includes the evaluators. So if you think that in Toastmasters, somebody comes, you come along, you deliver a speech, your speech evaluator gives you an evaluation that you do not want to receive and simply gets away with it, it doesn't happen, because we have somebody called a general evaluator to watch out for that. And who evaluates the general evaluator? Well, the general evaluator is guided by the 4 core values of Toastmasters International, which are integrity, respect, service, and excellence. And our general evaluator today is an epitome of integrity, respect, service, and excellence. Integrity because she was here before the meeting started. Respect, respecting everyone's time. Service culture, it's probably midnight where she is right now, but she is right up here. Excellence, you're about to see. Probably one of the best general evaluators I know. Soon to be distinguished Toastmaster, Anna Whistler.
Thank you, Rupinder. Not setting me up for anything. And the person who evaluates the general evaluator is, well, the general evaluator. And I say I do a good job already. I do have a team to keep me company tonight. I do not have to do this alone. I've already got a couple of established roles in place. I've got some speech evaluators, but I do have some role players to guide us along as well. Tonight, our grammarian is Khushboo. He has already put in the word of the day, exhilaration. It is a challenge for you to use it as many times as possible. As I am assuming the grammarian, are we taking different variations, like it is an exhilarating meeting, or let's have an exhilarated time? Are we accepting that as well, Khushboo? Yes? Okay. So use it in all forms of variations, feeling of excitement, happiness, or elation. She'll also be listening for any forms of communication that you use as to grammatically correct, as I messed up already. On top of it, we have our odd counter. Anytime we have filler words, pauses, different sounds that come out of our mouths, keeps track of that and lets us know how awesome we did at the end of the meeting. Tonight, that is Sumit. And then our timer, who Rupinder has already given us our knowledge as to the backgrounds will change, is none other than Elisa Schneider. She will be changing the colors based upon what timing we're at. That is all I have right now. So I suppose I will turn the virtual lectern back to you, Rupinder.
Yes, you will. Thank you, Anna, for explaining the roles. We are now prepared to move into the prepared speeches section. What does prepared speeches mean? It means that there are a given set of objectives and everyone is supposed to, and every speaker is supposed to conform to those objectives. They can deliver a speech on any topic they want as long as they conform to those objectives. Speaking of objectives, I would like to call on stage the first speech evaluator, and I find that Joyta has not yet joined in, and at this stage, I will request Roli Sinha to step in and be the speech evaluator for Laxmi's speech. Roli, is that acceptable?
As a mentor, I should not be evaluating my speech, but it will be an honor. So just give me.
I'll be reading out the
Sure.
speech objectives. So Laxmi is delivering her mentorship speech, which is Introduction to Toastmasters Mentoring. Lakshmi's speech length will be 5 to 7 minutes. Please be on, Lakshmi, please stand by as I add you to the spotlight. First, I have to find you. Oh, there you are. Spotlight. This is taking some time, but once I assign some co-hosts, this will become easier. Trust me on that. Adding the timer to the spotlight. Right. Lakshmi, can you do a very quick audio and video check before we begin?
Good morning, Toastmasters. It's great to see you.
Okay, audio, video check completed. Laxmi K. Raman, the three lighthouses. The three lighthouses, Laxmi K. Raman.
It's so bright. I can't even see the lights. Oh dear, these are made such so people from distance can see, identify, and look at the land. When I was young, my father used to take me to different lighthouses in South India. He, being an engineer, used to talk about its mechanics and functions. But at the end of every trip, he tells us about how these lighthouses guides people, the ships and sailors in dark so they aren't lost. We all need such lighthouses in our life. Without that, we will miss our directions and we would be losing our trip also. Good morning, Toastmasters, the Toastmaster of the day, and my dear sailors. A mentor is a person not only give knowledge to their people, to their mentee, but also teaches them with their experiences. A mentor understands the mentee very well, analyze their problems, and give solutions to them. Effective mentorship is a two-way communication between a mentor and mentee. Agree to solve the problems, analyze it, and at the end, desire to share with each other. I have all the opportunities that I'm fortunate enough to get 3 lighthouses in my life. And today I'm going to talk about those 3 who taught me the valuable things in my life. 3 is a great number, isn't it? A table with 3 legs are more balanced than 4 or 5 or 6. First of all, at the top of the list, I would like to talk about none other than my mother. She's a great teacher. Of course, I'm sorry. She was a great teacher and had all the qualities in life to be a great guide. One of the greatest lessons she taught me was we should be brave enough to face all the challenges and all the problems in life with courage. I was born and brought up in Chennai, but due to my husband's work job transfer, I had to move to Delhi in the year 1994. Initially, it was very, very challenging for me with my little girl in the presence of so many strangers at an unknown place. But today, I am a proudful mother and a successful woman with lots of exciting experiences and achievements, majorly because of our advice to be courageous. It continues. The second person I would like to talk about is my uncle, who is also my guru. He taught me to lead a disciplined life in whatever being the situation. I was doing my postgraduate during my second pregnancy. It was so difficult for me to manage my studies considering my health issues. And I was even perplexed whether to give exams or not. But he said, nothing is impossible in life, and he made my life so easy, making me comfortable, prepared for my exams and study plans. As a result, 2 weeks after the childbirth, 2 weeks, within 15 days, I went and submitted my exams, completed my course, got a postgraduate with my name, attached my name, with fine colors. No matter what, we have to do things. If we committed, we have to complete a task to set the mind. Yes, we have to do it with discipline. third person I'm going to talk about is my mentor, Toastmaster Roli Sinha. She shared all her interesting experiences in the Toastmaster path she had, and which made me realize, yes, age is just a number. It's true. At the age of 55, I joined Sunday French Masters Club. All the fellow members are much younger than I. Some of them are even younger than my daughters. But as advised by my mentor, there is always a scope for learning. And I opened my vision and perspectives, learn from everyone and anyone, despite my age. Fellow Toastmasters, we always need these lighthouses. It's all not only we see the lights, but we have to follow the directions. If I would have just listened to them and not acted upon, I would have been one among the lost sailors. But you have to be open enough to listen to your mentors, follow their direction. If you close your mind, then that's the end of all the growth. Trust me, the voyage never stops. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Thank you for that very exhilarating speech, Speaker Laxmi. Lots to learn. The 3 lighthouses. I have to go search for my 3 lighthouses. Maybe I have more of them. Let's take a minute to write feedback for Speaker Laxmi. Timer, please indicate with the red card when 3 minutes are over.
Did you say 3 minutes?
1 minute, sorry.
1 minute. Okay.
Note to self, sleep early the previous night. Thank you, timer. Our next speaker is joining us all the way from District 80. Lots to say about him. He is the current district champion in the international speech contest, and he is here to practice his contest speech. I will now spotlight Toastmaster Kin Ng. Adding to spotlight. Can we very quickly do an audio video check?
Good morning. Can you see and hear me clearly?
I can confirm that I can see and hear you clearly. Kin Ang, those magic hands. Those magic hands, Kin Ang.
The wind was roaring, the waves were crashing, lightning flashed across the sky, and thunder rumbled at the beach. Now, as the bravest 5-year-old there, guess what I did? Mommy! My pants were wet, and it wasn't raining yet. Mom looked at me and said, "Hold my hand. I'm with you." As I grabbed Mom's hand, Whoosh! The rain started pouring, the lightning kept flashing, the thunder kept rumbling, but I felt safe. I was holding those magic hands. Club president, friends with dry pants. Have you ever felt the magic of a loving hand? It lifts you when you're low, holds you when you're lonely, and guides you when you're lost. I remember the touch of Mom's hands, that human touch, that loving touch. It made me feel I could rise above everything. Years later, I felt that same feeling when I met a Wonder Woman, Jen. She's kind, charismatic, cute, completely out of my league. On our first date, I take her to the beach. I'm laughing. She's laughing. I tell a corny joke. She laughs even louder. She's the one. And then she asks me, wanna go kayaking? Now I love the beach, but I hate drowning. What should I do? Sure. I must impress her, right? She's the one. Now, why are women always so observant? She noticed my fear and said, hold my hand. I'm with you. And holding hands, I slowly climbed into our kayak and we started paddling out to the deep blue sea. And just as I was thinking, is she really worth it? The wind started roaring, the waves started crashing. Our kayak went left and right, up and down, round and round. My stomach went inside out. We hit a big wave. I cried while she screamed. She's exhilarated. I'm constipated. Thankfully, no wet pants. And back on dry land, she asked me, if you're so scared of drowning, why did you agree to kayak with me? So I told her, well, it was your magic hands. When I'm holding your hands, it makes me feel I can rise above everything. Oh, so want to keep holding my hand? What a pickup artist. Of course, I said, yes, she's the one. And now we're engaged. Shortly after our engagement, Mom had chemo. She was weak and frail. She could barely walk. But she didn't want to stay home. Who likes being stuck at home? So I thought, I know. Let's bring Mom to the beach. And I know what you're thinking. Ken brings everyone to the beach. But I just wanted her to feel the sun on her skin, the sand between her toes, the waves washing her ankles. Life's about the simple joys, isn't it? And when we got to the beach, the ground became uneven and Mom started to tremble. What do you do when you see someone trembling in fear? I told Mom, Mom, hold my hand. I'm with you. Holding hands, we slowly made it to the water. And there, I saw Mom's biggest smile ever. That was the last time we went to the beach. At her funeral, Mom's friends shared a side of her I never knew. They told me she was feeling low, lonely, and lost. Things parents rarely tell their children. But they told me one more thing, that Mom couldn't stop talking about that day at the beach holding her baby boy's magic hands. We live in troubling times. Fear flashes in the news. Worries rumble in our minds. And waves of change come crashing into our lives. All of us get wet. Some of us feel like we're drowning. Is there someone you know who might need magic hands? Look at your hands. Those magic hands. Let them lift those who are low. Hold those who are lonely and guide those who are lost. Help them feel they can rise above everything. And the magic begins when you say, hold my hand. I'm with you. Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay, I need a moment before I give everyone a minute to write feedback for Kin. Kin has also shared a feedback form. Please be sure to give him feedback over there. Thank you so much. Timer, please indicate when a minute is over. Thank you very much, Timer. So the first new thing that we achieved was a new Zoom account, and we hope to make good use of it, not just for meetings, but also for various sessions. We will be rolling out our Zoom policy very soon for our club members. The other thing is that we became a President Distinguished Club yesterday, or day before yesterday. And we are currently at 9 goals. We're aiming for the 10th goal. I'm pretty sure we will achieve that. There's a person in this room who who taught me an acronym, BHAG, Bhag. In Hindi, it means to run. And I thought he wanted me to run, and I said, no way. But then he expanded it. It means big, hairy, audacious goals. So I'm going to set a big, hairy, audacious goal for our club members today, the 16th of June, 2021. By this time next year, we will be a Hall of Fame club. This is what I want. I hope you want that too. What is a Hall of Fame club? It's a club that meets a lot of requirements. As of now, just understand that. Also understand that the person who taught me the meaning of BHAG is also our table topic master today. I call him Gandalf. I call him Yoda. He was among my first mentors in District 41. And having him by my side, I know that the Hall of Fame will not be difficult. It's just a matter of when and not if. Today, he is going to pepper you with table topics. With a huge round of applause, let us welcome and thank you, Shakti, for sending that message. Yes, I am having not a very good day. The polls for the best speaker, please vote. $20. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for choosing the best. Now, let me invite on stage and spotlight distinguished Toastmaster Shivpriya Gowri. Shivpriya Gowri, the stage is yours. I will also add Alisa Schneider to the spotlight so that you have a sense of time.
Hello. Good morning, everybody. And with the new login and URL, fortunately, I am not being able to log in from my computer. It keeps saying that I have a wrong email or a wrong password. Whatever, I'll get it sorted out. But just like the story I had just now for all of you, today's themes are all on stories. And like those good old stories which always started with and then there. All my topics today for all of you will start with those. I hope you remember that you have 1 to 2 minutes and the timer will flag you with the green card at 1 minute, at 1.5 minutes, the yellow card goes up, and at 2 minutes, you have the red card going up. You do have a buffer of another 30 seconds, and therefore you need to close your speech positively within 2.5 minutes. Otherwise, you would get disqualified. Now, let's start with our first story, which I'm going to request the one with the alphabet which starts with A, and that's Amit. Amit Tandon, your topic is, and then there was an apple. And then there was an apple. Amit Tandon. Amit, over to you. Amit, I think you're on mute.
Then there was an apple. I was roaming around in the valleys of hills in Himachal Pradesh. Out came, okay, I'm a little lost here. Okay, I'm a little lost with this topic. I'd like to pass.
Okay, can I give you another topic quickly?
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead. And then the car ran out of fuel. And then the car ran out of fuel.
Like all my trips, it was a beautiful Sunday morning. And then I suddenly decided that I wanted to take a trip. The trip was and then the car ran out of fuel. I was in the middle of nowhere. It was 12 a.m. in the night. The road was dark and there was no fuel. I was with my wife sitting on the bank of River Ganges. We could hear the water flowing in the river, but unfortunately, with no fuel, we really couldn't do anything. To top it off, there were rains that suddenly started striking the car windshield. There was nothing visible in front of us. In due course of time, the car batteries also ran away and it was complete darkness. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you. Good attempt, I thought. And then can I request our distinguished Toastmaster and our coach, Madam Shivpriya, to come on stage. And Shakti, your
Sharendra, Shakti has left. We can ask Shivpriya. She's there.
okay, Shivpriya is there. Great. Then from one sister to the other sister, your story, the topic, and then the sunset on the beach. Shivpriya Gowri, and then the sunset on the beach. Shivpriya.
Just like the table topic master, even my parents said it. They wanted my sister to go on the first trip to Goa, but then they said, Shakti is all the way on the other side of the hemisphere. Let us just settle with Shivpriya. Mr. Table Topic Master's fellow Toastmaster, all I wanted was my mother and my father together for the love of God to go to a place called Goa. And why specifically Goa? Every single time I asked them to allow me to go to this beautiful beach, they always said, no, Shiva, we have always heard that everybody just drinks beer and they are just lying next to the beach. No, we are not letting you go. What if you go and meet some guy who's not even from our own religion? What if you meet some guy he's not even good? What if you go and marry a guy who's jobless? What will you do? We are not letting you go on a solo trip to Goa. After 5 trips to Goa, after struggling for their approval, I decided no more struggle. No, not gonna happen. Not at all. So I took my parents to Goa to make them realize that this is a beautiful place. This has more to do with just drinking and dancing. It has to do with beautiful beaches. The first day, they did not agree with me because we never got to see the beach. We reached the place at 12:30 in the night, and all they could hear was from a long distance the waves. But this was in the West Coast. That means there is no sunrise. I was waiting for the perfect moment to convince that the world has more beautiful places and they should let me go on a solo trip. So after a full day of planning A, B, C, D, E activities, which are specifically for older people, yeah, they are old, I finally asked them to go and meet and look at the beautiful sunset at Parallel Beach. That was breathtaking. That day, they realized that my solo trips are way more than just drinking and dancing. It is about viewing the mesmerizing nature. And then they finally settled, oh, next time we have to go with Shakti because Shiva is just too much. Back to Mr. DTM, this is Shivpriya Gowri.
Shakti, it was Shakti's name which came on the list. Your name somewhere creeped in. So I'm so sorry about that. I actually wanted this for you. Now, can I move over to the next story? And I now request you to kindly, Anisha Gupta, can you step up, please? And Anisha, your topic is, and then the shoe heels broke. Anisha Gupta, and then the shoe heels broke. Over to you.
Through the virtual essay, many escapades that I did sometime or the other, in the hills, in the mountains, on the beaches, there was one. There was one on the New Year's Eve of 2018. There was one in the hills of Himachal, next to the river Parvati Valley. And there I was, sitting with strangers, sitting around a bonfire, discussing the myriad experiences of life. Well, they were cracking jokes, or some were going deep into the conversations. I was very happily soaking myself the heat from the bonfire. But then I realized my shoes, the rubbers are getting melted in the fire. Oh no! Tomorrow morning I have to take a trek in the very same sport shoes. Okay, my shoes were totally devastated. So the next morning, I am walking along the trek path with broken shoes, the heels just coming off, but no, that doesn't hamper any of my experience because that New Year's morning was the best trek I ever had in Himachal. And that reminds me that of Khalid Hosseini's stories, of what he said in The Mountains Echoed when the characters Abola and Pari had no shoes to wear. I was reminded of Abola's experiences where he walks down deserts and deserts only to fetch a nice feather for his sister, Pari. If Abola can do that, I can do it for myself. And that's why I walked along with shoes, but no heels in the shoes. And then there were shoes with no heels. And then there was I with great aspirations. Back to you, Toastmaster.
You're on mute.
Okay. Can I now request my good friend Naveen to come on stage? Naveen, can you step up, please? And your story around the topic. And then there was this black horse. And then there was this black horse. Naveen, over to you.
I don't think Naveen is here, sir.
I thought I saw him.
He was here a while ago. He's not here.
Okay.
We do have Deepraj. Oh, he's also we have Raj Mehta. I can add
Deepraj,
this.
Raj is there? Okay. Raj, sir, will you be able to take on this topic, please?
Yeah, I can take the topic, but I'm not aware of the background, but whatever I will come
That's
to my
okay.
mind.
Perfectly okay. The topic is, and then there was this black horse. And then there was this black horse.
Thank you, table topic master, DTM Surendra. When I was going in my car, it got stuck. I got down from the car and found that the lower plastic which was covering the machinery part of my car had broken and it had fallen down. I tried to drive it again, but could not. Suddenly, I saw a man coming on a horse, on a black horse. From a distance, I could not see it because the road was also black and I could not distinguish whether there was someone coming on the road. But when I saw the man sitting on the horse, it was the black horse. When it came near to me, I stopped the man and requested him to bring the horse to me so that I could go to my destination. And my destination was to go to an office in IPO where my daughter was to get her certificate of occupancy renewed for the next 10 years. I sat on the road, horse, and rode over it. But lo and behold, it did not move. I requested him a lot. I patted on his neck, but it did not move. I could not know what was the reason. Then I requested the person who was earlier riding on the horse. The person said, if you want this horse to run or to walk on the road, you have to pass in front of the horse. And I came down again and stood in front of the horse and started dancing. But after some time, I was dancing, the horse also started dancing. And then I understood that what language he understands. I went back on his back, and then you pulled his reins and patted again on his neck. Then I again requested the horse, and then it started running, and it ran so fast. Times I felt that I was flying in the sky. At my destination, it was there. I got down from the horse and got my work done, and I again came back to my car. And after that, I took my car to a mechanic and got it repaired. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Raj sir. So may I now call on Satvinder Kaur, Toastmaster Satvinder Kaur.
Hello, good morning all.
Hi, Satvinder. Your story would be around, and then my computer shut down, and then my computer shut down. Satvinder?
Yes. I was preparing for a very important meeting with the doctors, and I have been called there to explain about what is my experience dealing with MND patients. So when they all were, I was in the meeting like Zoom, and we were all doctors were one by one speaking about MND in different view of their interaction with the patients. However, they would like to listen to me when everyone would point out that this is the lady who has a major experience all across on motor neuron disease patients. So then when my idol was also there, my Dr. Gauri Devi, who came in and she wasn't not aware, maybe she don't have the screen which involves a lot of members. So she pointed out and she said that there is a lady and she wasn't aware that I'm also a part of the meeting. And when the doctor, the main speaker, asked me to present and share about my thoughts, she just said, yes, this is the lady I was talking about, and she was appreciating a lot. And when I was about to say something and meeting was just 10 minutes left and my computer shut down. Thank you.
Thank you. May I now call on Melata? Melata, are you there? You will have to unmute, please. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Now, and then she ran into my arms. And then She ran into my arms. That's
Into my arms. She ran into my arms. What I remember are my children. Then my daughter, my daughter elderly, was the eldest. She was fearful when she was still small. And she was fearful about the thunder, the rain, the gusty winds, the stormy night. I told her she could calm down, that she could calm down, try to calm down elderly. Every storm still, or this typhoon would still pass. Tomorrow it would be daybreak, gone forever. But then she still cried, and she still cried and cried. So I told her not to fear and not basta. She should be courageous. She should stand strong. She would be still, then pray to the Lord for safety, for our safety. Then there were ants that crawled into our cabinet. After those crawling ants were dispersed, I tried to tell her that these ants are also afraid, but they are all together supporting each other. And so please, so you should come into my arms. I will hold you. I will hug you. I will love you forever. This storm will still pass, and be still, for God will protect us from the storm. That's all. Thank you.
May I now call on our guest, Deepraj Das. Deepraj.
Hi, all.
Hi. So your story around, and then I saw the ghost. And then I saw the ghost. Over to you, Deepraj.
I'm filled with a lot of exhilaration because this is my first meeting outside of my elite Toastmasters club. And I'm quite excited to see all of you with a diverse group. And that makes us different. So, Ghost, we all have, I remember when I was a child, there was this TV called Onida. So in that ad, Onida, there was a guy, there was a bald guy, and he used to have two horns and had a long tail. So I used to be scared of this creature. I used to feel that this was a unique thing for those guys who were selling the TV Onida, but it was a nightmare for me. It instilled so much of fear in me that, you know, I would never go away from my parents. I used to always stay with them, and any object that is not usual, I used to be scared of that. I mean, it was so difficult for me. And I remember one day I did something very naughty. I mean, I didn't listen to my parents, and they left me outside of the gate. So it helped me in two ways. I became obedient, and at the same time, I overcame my fears. Till today, if you just look at me, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm always ready to take on the risks that is there. I'm absolutely fearless about things. Like, for example, today I was fearful that what would happen in the international Toastmasters meetings. I mean, this is the first time, but no, I said I will bang on, I will take it on. So I think that one incident has changed my overall perspective. Now, sometimes it's important to take on challenges in life, to face your fear, and I think you are always ready to take on the world. So over to you, Table Topics Master. What do you think?
That was very nice, Deepraj. Now, there is a storyteller amongst us who actually markets herself as a storyteller. And I'm going to call her, even though she's a role player today, Khushboo, are you ready to take on a story? Khushboo?
Yes.
Okay, Khushboo, here goes. And then we were arrested. And then we were arrested.
He were or we were?
We were arrested.
It was Saturday evening. Me, my husband, and my friend, we came out of DLF Promenade and DLF Mall in New Delhi. We were very excited of the reunion because we were meeting our old friend after a long time. We were chit-chatting and enjoying, and it was really late. And as my husband was driving the car, suddenly a policeman came. He got his big stick and he asked my husband, "Come out, show me your license." He didn't have the license. "What are you doing? How can you drive the car without a license?" And my husband said, "I'm sorry, I forgot the license today. It's at my place. If you want, you can come to my place. But do you know, I am from this particular political party. I am from BJP," because he was wearing orange t-shirt. And I just couldn't make out what he's trying to do. He said, "You know, I am so-and-so." And I was like, "Since when you are so-and-so of this political party? I would have left you long ago if you would have joined a political party." "You know, I'm so-and-so." And this policeman was like wondering, "Is it? Who are you?" "I don't know who are you. Please show me who is the political boss. Tell me." Then he started taking some random names. And the whole mess aggravated, and out of exhilaration that we all three were in, we got arrested. Finally, I was lucky to leave the police station being a female, but we had a difficult time that night. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Rupinder has already told me that I am over time, but I have one topic which I would like to give specifically to Rupinder, though he had told me that he would not participate, but I want him to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for Rupinder. Rupinder, and then we ran out of food. And then we ran out of food. Over to you, Rupinder.
For a person having a bad day, that is a horrible topic to give, Mr. Table Topic Master. But there was a situation when I ran out of food. You see, I'm a pretty self-dependent guy. But like they say that everything has a beginning. This is the beginning of me becoming self-dependent or making food for myself. It all started on the 25th of January, 2006. I remember that day because the next day was 26th of January, which is our Republic Day, and everything is closed down. In fact, from 8 o'clock onwards on 25th of January, everything starts shutting down. So my wife calls me up and she says, "What will you have for food?" And I, in my ego, said, "A lion hunts his own food." Big mistake, because that night everything was closed. And when it rains, it pours. I reached home. I could not even find instant noodles to cook. The lion had run out of food. And you know what lions do when they run out of food? They try to wake the wives up. So I did that. I woke her up. I said, "I want food." Whatever happened to lion hunting for his own food was the reply. That night, I ran out of food. That night, the lion slept hungry. And from next day, the lion learned cooking. Mr. Topics Master.
You're on mute, Sharan sir.
Over to you, Rupinder. Thank you, everyone. That was wonderful.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Shaurendra Bhaumik. Here we go with the best table topic speaker poll. There you go. Please vote for the best. Five seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Thank you very much for participating in the table topics. And thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Shaurendra, for those exhilarating table topics. We now move on to the final section of our meeting. But before we get there, we have to evaluate. We've set a big, hairy, audacious goal, or at least I have set a big, hairy, audacious goal for you. How are we going to reach there? There are going to be many requirements. There are going to be many challenges. But if there is one thing that this team has shown this past year, it is to rise to challenges. And what would be a world without challenges? Because challenges test you, challenges evaluate you. And speaking of evaluation, let us now call on stage our general evaluator, Toastmaster Anna Whistler.
Thank you. It is now my turn to run the meeting. Don't be too scared yet. To evaluate our first speaker, stepping in at the last moment, super appreciative of this. But to give our first evaluation, I would like to call Roli Sinha. Apologize if I pronounced your name wrong.
You were perfectly accurate in your pronunciation, Madam General Evaluator. And it is my absolute delight to come in as an audience member and then serve as the evaluator for Toastmaster Laxmi's speech. It was a matter of complete exhilaration because she's come out of her comfort zone from her own club and delivered a speech in front of members and members of the audience who are not really familiar to her. I am so glad that she chose this way to deliver her speech, and being absolutely professionally decked up in her sari at 7:30 in the morning. I am so absolutely impressed by that. The title of her speech was very intriguing, and I was already looking forward to it when it was announced, the 3 lighthouses. And then the message that she brought forward with the values that these lighthouses impart to us as mentors. And then we need to live those values as we carry out the stormy seas of our lives. And I love the way that she steered her speech through the entire theme of lighthouses by calling us as sailors right in the beginning when she set sail, and then closing the loop again by cautioning us not to be the lost sailors when she took down the sale of her speech. I was very happy with these metaphors. I just wish that these had been more closely entwined with the qualities of her mentors, with the role that they played. For instance, her father could have been the reference point that a lighthouse is for people who are sailing. Her mother would have been the lighthouse that guides her and helps her avoid the rocks. And her uncle was the lighthouse that helps her sail through stormy seas and gives her the courage to complete her journey and make sure that she delivers her exams right after delivering her baby. Her own experience as a mentor to her daughters, to her colleagues at work, to her members at the club, to me as my mentee, I believe would have shown us a different light and given us another perspective. I sincerely applaud the fact that she stood up to deliver the speech, but the camera was a little lower than her eye level. So just remember to elevate the device a little bit. All in all, it was pure exhilaration to witness her speech. Her entire theme was beautiful, and I look forward to seeing more of her speeches. Thank you so much. Back to you, Madam Deputy.
Very well done. Now, I personally am exhilarated to hear this evaluation because as you were evaluating a contestant, I'm just going to add words, of International Speech Contest, it's a whole new level. But here to evaluate our second speaker, our guest speaker tonight, is Kapil. Please take it away.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Ken, for the wonderful speech. Watching you delivering your speech was such a pleasure, and evaluating you is even more pleasurable, Ken. You know, when you delivered your speech, I actually gave n number of recommendation to myself that how I can improve. So you were kind of a role model for me. I liked few things about you, and you got us all exhilarated. The thing I liked about you, about your speech was you started with an emotional element, and then you added some flavor of humor in your speech. So I mean, I really liked that part. It was kind of a surprise. I thought that I'm going to hear an emotional speech, but it was, you surprised me. Secondly, voice modulation, facial impression, and hand gestures movement were really awesome. I mean, it was top notch at the highest level. Pitch and pace of the speech was so perfect that everybody was able to understand and consume what you were saying. So well done on that part. And poses were so apt that everyone could connect with you, barring when you started, barring one instance when you started first, you took a lot of time to start. So that was, it is part of my recommendation also, Kin, because you took, I think, 10-15 seconds to deliver your first word. Now, some other recommendation, when you said that my pants were not wet when you were with your fiancé, you could have said that my pants were wet, but only because of seawater. You could have added some humor element in that. The other observation was, you said that your stomach was inside out, and then you followed it up with that you were constipated. I find both were contradictory. I think opposite of constipation would have been a better word. And again, as I said that there was a long pause in the beginning, you need to remember that, timer has a job to play. So given that, you could have started well on time. So all in all, as I said, it was an exhilarating speech, Kin, and truly, honestly, I as I mentioned, I gave n number of recommendation to myself. I think many of us are learning from you, or will keep on learning from you if you join our meetings regularly. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. All right. I shall now give evaluation of all of the table topics. So I'm going to take a deep breath because there was a lot of you. To start off with, Amit, the car ran out of fuel. You had a great description. Absolutely a great idea of it was pitch black. You gave us the idea of where you were at. The only thing I would say is you left it hanging. We were wondering what would happen. You left it in pitch black. Now, that's kind of scary. I would be worried about ghosts at that point. Shivpriya, and then the sunset on the beach. You have great voice reflection. Your voice just carries and is enticing no matter what you're saying. You could be just quoting the alphabet and it would be catching. So I absolutely love that. The only challenge I would really give you is that you had such a beautiful speech that you really could have incorporated the word of the day a couple of times, and I didn't hear it at all on that one. So that'd be my challenge for you. Anisha, I loved that. I was so excited. I had no idea if it was going to be broken in the middle of walking through the sand or you're walking on the beach. And then you talk about the heel melting. It was fantastic. And you gave kind of a moral of the story as well. So it was more of a lesson on top of it. The only thing is I would give a little bit more of a shock to the heel having melted. The heel melted, something to that extent. Raj, you had a great story. It was consistent. You kept us going. The only caution I would give you is you used and then quite a bit. So when you're giving a story, and then is a great piece, but we just have to be cautious about how many times we use it. And by the end of it, I felt like I was more tired than the horse would have been. So great job. Satvinder, my computer shut down. That was a great example. I know this is, I believe, your second table topics with us. Wonderful story. My challenge for you is set the scene first. So I'm in a meeting room with my doctor, planning this process, planning this presentation. Set the whole scene first, and then give us the highlight of, I was close to the end. It was the moment I was all waiting for, and then my computer shut down. So allow us to have that whole basis first and so it's not an add-on. But you did great. I loved it. Melata, she ran into my arms. I want to run into your arms after that story. I loved it. It was such a motherly love. I would say that was fantastic. I can't even find a challenge for you on that because that's all I wanted to do. And you could just tell amongst the audience, we were all very fortunate to have you here tonight. Deepraj, wonderful to have you. Thank you so much for stepping out of your comfort zone, embracing the ghosts of international waters. And you had a great moral to your story. You talked about the ghost in the beginning, and then you talked about learning as a child. I would have probably twisted in the ghost feeling a little bit more and then I realized it was my own ghost of being disobedient. Just kind of twist it back into the story. But again, great byline. Khushboo, you're a storyteller. I don't even know what to tell you on that one. Sounds like you spoke from experience, so part of me wants to know really some of the background as to how you guys got there and if this was an accurate story, but great job on that as well. And finally, to the lion who has no ability to cook. I will warn you, if you woke up us females in America, we would have a fry pan in our hand and we'd be hitting you over the head if you couldn't cook. But it was a great job for you to expand upon your storytelling. And I appreciate that you were throwing that in there despite the time change. That is what I have for table topics. I will now turn it over to some of our other role players as you are voting for Best Evaluator. Thank you, Rupi. I would like to call, as you are voting, I would like to call upon our grammarian to give us a running total of how many of us used the word and any other pieces that she found tonight. Khushboo?
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'm absolutely exhilarated to present my Grammarian Report today at Blue Quest, and also exhilarated because my club has achieved so much. I'm so proud to be a part of this club. And today the meeting was really tough for me. I actually made two columns, the good usages and the bad usages. The bad usages is really vacant. There's only good usages. So to begin with, can you really introduce us to emotional vocabulary? And that was brilliant. Words like impress, charismatic. Women are always observant. You use great metaphors. Waves started crashing, hit big wave. Drowning, holding hands, frail, barely, stuck at home. And the meter that you have used in your speech, which is actually a poetic device. For example, feel the sun on skin, waves washing our ankle. The wind was roaring, the waves were crashing, lightning flashed across the sky. That was brilliant. We have also great usages by other members. Lost sailors, age is just a number. Worry rumbles in our mind, glide, and we have great usages like breathtaking, mesmerizing, escapades, echoed, aspirations by our table topic masters, and lion learned cooking, cautioning us, closing the loop. I have and the word exhilaration, which was the word of the day, was used by many Toastmasters like Roli, Sinha, Kapil, Anna, Ken, and myself. Thank you so much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you. I loved that we did so well. Some of those words have been written down as ones that I can use more often. So thank you for that. I would like to turn it over to our counter. Sumit, I'm a little afraid, but tell us how good we did today.
Yeah, I'm exhilarated to say that we are improving with each passing meeting. And today we had done a very good job, though we have 9 table topics covered in the meeting, but still the outcome was better than the last meetings. I'll share my screen. Is my screen visible to all? So I could find one repeat words in Rupinder Sergeant and Arm address. Kapil Kakkar had 4 total correct word usage in the Presiding Officer address. And then again one I heard from Rupinder. One by Laxmi in her speech. Ken, you were great, and I'm exhilarated that I have attended the meeting today and you made my day. Rupinder, I found one more in your topic master address. Roli, I have heard 7 filler words in your evaluation. Kapil, there were 4 filler words in your evaluation. In the table topics, we did a very good job with Amit Tandon using only two filler words, and that's the learning that I had from Amit today, that even if we are gathering our thoughts, it's better to be silent than try to take help from the filler words. Raj Mehta had 1 in his speech. Satvinder had 4 in her speech. Melata had 5 in her 5 crutch words in her speech. Khushboo had 1 filler word, which is in her speech, and overall we had 33 filler words and crutch word usage overall in this meeting. Though we have 9 table topics, we did really a good job today. We will improve with each passing meeting. That's the pledge that we are taking today. Thank you.
Awesome, very well done. Now we can all say it as much as possible because he stopped counting. Kidding. All right, to our timer, Elisa, will you give us our timers of our speeches, evaluators, table topics, and how we've done overall in the meeting?
Absolutely, General Evaluator Anna. As you can see on the screen, these are the timing reports for today. I'm just going to let you go through each one of them, and I will highlight that most everybody was in time. We had 2 incidences where we were a little bit out of time, but I want to congratulate our main role players for tonight who led the meeting. We had our Toastmaster, of the morning, Rupinder Singh, and then Anna as General Evaluator. And I felt like they worked really well in conjunction because right now we are 2 minutes ahead of schedule. So many, many congratulations. You cut out some parts and felt right in time. Hopefully that has given you a chance to see all of the timing reports for each of the table topics, evaluations, grammarian and counter reports. And having said that, I'm going to close the screen and hand it back over to you, General Evaluator.
Beautifully done. That gives me 2 more minutes to speak. I'll take it. All right. Please now vote for your best auxiliary role player. They did a great job. I loved the team. So please vote for that in a few seconds here, and then I will give my overall evaluation of the meeting.
Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. So let me give you a few notes of everyone's different parts of the meeting, and I typically start from the backwards forward. So to start off with my evaluation team, Khushboo, I love that you kept the word relevant in our chat. It was pumping in there throughout the meeting. It gave us that reminder of this is the word of the day, and I absolutely appreciate that. So thank you so much. Do not stop that. I love also that our counter and our timer had their spreadsheets ready. They were keeping track of everything, ready to share, so there was not a delay on that. So great job. Our evaluators, Kapil, that was a hard piece to evaluate. So great job on that. I was very excited to see what you would say. You had an awesome way of complimenting him and giving it positive feedback. And the fact that you gave him the challenges, but you gave him the exact examples of what you would challenge on. So it wasn't just, hey, do more gestures. You actually gave him those specific examples. So great job. Roli, again, thank you so much for just jumping in and helping out. That was awesome. Very well done for a Toastmaster. I love the fact that you gave major points in the overview of the speech. Sometimes we miss that as an evaluator because we don't want to redo their speech. But as a speaker, it allows us to realize whether our points that we made came across effectively or not. And you did well at that. So it's up to the speaker now to know whether they gave their ideas most effectively. The only thing I'll challenge you on is instead of talking to the speaker about them as a third person, so she could have or her speech gave us, I would talk to her more directly because you're giving her the evaluation. So you could have done, you did a great job at, gives a little bit more of a personal touch. Consider that. Surendra, I have never had a table topic session like that, and I loved it. I am slightly devastated that I didn't get to participate as well. And so I came up with my own stories as I was listening to everyone else. Great job. The only feedback I have is one, to double check the list of names as you're calling them out. I know some people jump in and out, so just having that prepared, and you kept the flow very well with that. But the other thing is to watch time. As Toastmasters, that is a huge thing. We have to watch our time. And even though we were able to compensate for some of that, we just don't want to go over time because it can take away from evaluations, which is another important part. Of course, we had to hear about the lion speaking. That's fine. You are forgiven this time. Just keep that in mind. Rupi, great job this evening. You kept things moving. You were well prepared. You had role players, and so You had backups in case of emergencies. Very great job. And it was an active conversation as well, because you were able to give feedback from the speakers to the team as well, showing that you were active listening. So that's a positive thing. The challenge I have for you is you gave us a challenge as a club, but describe more of what that entails. What is a Hall of Fame club? And you said this is going to be a challenge, that it's going to be something we're going to have to work towards. But I would have expected some sort of action plan. Like, this is the step we need to make. Here's where we are now. This is what we need to accomplish in order to get there. So having a few more details in that sense, what I was looking for. Overall, I love this club. I enjoy being part of it. General Evaluator is one of my favorite roles, even though I have 4 pages of notes. But it was a pleasure to be here this evening. And thank you so much for you coming in and sharing. That was a wonderful speech. We all wish you good luck on your competition. You're going to do fantastic. Back to you, Rupi.
Oh, I have a heart sign for myself. It was actually for Anna's comments. So coming back, we have a new start. We have a new beginning. We have a new Toastmasters year coming up. Where does this year end? Well, next week, we have our club elections. Let's focus on getting the best executive committee team out there. And then as individuals, let us focus on being the best that we can be. Before I close, a few lines from one of my favorite authors, Rudyard Kipling. This is the law of the jungle, and it as old as the earth and the sky. The wolf that obeys it will prosper. The wolf that does not shall die. As the shrub girdles the tree, the law runneth forth and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. If we are going to succeed in becoming one of the best clubs, by the way, Hall of Fame means that we are among the top 5 to 10% clubs in the district. If we are going to make it there, then we have to be the wolf and the pack together. So I'm signing off with this call to my wolf pack. It's a new start. Let's make sure that the ending is something to worth remembering for. It was an honor being your Toastmaster of the meeting. I will now hand it back to our presiding officer, Kapil.
Thank you, Rupinder. Thank you. While you compile your results for poll, let me take feedback from our guests. Kim, starting from you, how you felt about today's meeting, any recommendations?
I really enjoyed the meeting. I don't usually have meetings at this time in the day, but it's international. I really enjoyed how many people got to do table topics. And usually in my club meetings, we don't have enough time. So being able to hear everyone speak and have the chance to speak and improve, I thought that was particularly impressive, as well as the fact that all members are encouraged to give feedback to all speakers. I thought that was something that I'd like my club to take on doing as well. So thank you for having me here. I enjoyed myself. Please take care and stay safe.
Thank you, Kin, and good luck for your competition. Okay, Anisha.
Good morning, everyone. And again, I'm glad to be here. When I get a reminder from distinguished Toastmaster Rupinder Singh every Tuesday night that there's a Blue Quest meeting in the morning, I make a mental reminder that I'm going to wake up early this day. And here I am in front of so many happy faces to start off my day. I was happy to be given this opportunity to speak on the table topic. And I am glad that this club is doing wonders. Congratulations to all of you. And this opportunity to hear distinguished Toastmaster Kin give his speech. So thank you, and I look forward to more Wednesdays like this.
Thank you, Anisha. Roli, over to you.
I'm just very happy that I got a chance to attend my mentee's speech, especially one so gratifying as importance of Toastmasters mentoring. I loved the meeting. The flow was awesome. And I especially like the creative touch on the storytelling table topics. That was very well done. Overall, it was a great learning experience, and I am filled with exhilaration. Thank you, Mr. Mariam.
Thank you, Roli. Raj?
Yeah. So I did you name Deepraj? Is it?
You may go ahead first. I can come back to Raj Mehta.
Okay, so sorry. Okay, so I'm actually, now you can understand how I'm overexcited to join this meeting, and thank you so much. And it was a lovely experience out here, and the table topics were amazing. It was a level up. I would really, it's really commendable. The table topics were really up, and I was given a chance to speak up. So that's amazing, and you guys have been absolutely welcoming, starting with Rupinder and everyone out here. It's amazing. So all the best and congratulations.
Thank you, Raj. Keep joining us. Raj Mehta.
Yeah, thank you, Kapil. It was good meeting. I have been missing the speeches since the meeting has been starting a bit earlier. I can join at the earliest 8:25 or so. That's why I'm missing the meeting, but speeches. But from the evaluations, I could imagine how good the speeches were, and I have missed them. I do not know what is the solution of this, but of course, I'm getting the chance of speaking in the tabletop session. That is a regular thing. I really like the general evaluations, general evaluators reports, and the evaluators and other supplementary role players reports. The meeting is very lively. I'm enjoying it, and I and both of us need to find some solution. How can I join right from the beginning of the meeting? Let's see what can be done. Thank you.
Thank you, Raj. Laxmi, Raman.
Thank you. It was a wonderful meeting. This is the second meeting I'm attending with Blockquist. I mean, I've again given a speech today, given a speech earlier also. Every day is a new day, and I'm learning a lot. There are many things which I'm getting inspired with today. The way the prepared speeches, the Toastmaster of the day and the table topics were amazing. It's a storytelling, so everyone were talking about from their heart, not they don't need to think. So it's a fantastic, and I look forward to attend more meetings. Great job, and congratulations on your achievement. Wish you all the best on more and more achievements. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lakshmi. Thank you. Melata?
I enjoyed joining this meeting with you. I was so I was a bit tearful. Then I really learned from all of the speeches what to do in life. So I could also be a public speaker too, or a Toastmaster speaker. Then I was touched with the story of Mr. Ang, because I am a mother of 5 kids too. Then I enjoyed the humor. I found it nice that Rupinder had put humor in his speech regarding the lion who learned how to cook. Then I'm glad that I can be a guest, at least in this Blue Quest Toastmasters Club. That's all.
Thank you, Melita. Keep joining us. Rupinder, I guess by now you are ready with your results. Okay, so I'm handing over the mic to you so that you can publish your results. Rupinder.
Thank you, Kapil. There are a lot of delays happening from my side. I'm actually in between a lot of screens. I will share the screen for everyone. Guests, if you're joining us for the first time, this is how we generate certificates in Blue Quest. So that is why the polls and everything. We will start with the top 3 table topic speakers today, and there was a one disqualification, and I'm taking the liberty to tell you, otherwise the results would have been very different. So starting with the third best table topic speaker for today, we have coming all the way from a Hall of Fame club in Kolkata, Toastmaster Deepraj Das. Many congratulations, Deepraj. You can now give out a wolf howl if you want to. Just because Anna asked, so that's why. Okay. Moving on to the second best table topic speaker. Well, he and Deepraj have something in common, and that is the name Raj. Many congratulations, Raj Mehta. For those of you who do not understand, Raj means kingdom. Go figure. The man is a king. What can I say? And moving on from the king to the princess who won the best table topic speaker today. Apparently, she wakes up because I asked her to wake up. And no, that was not a factor in giving her the best table topic speaker. She actually earned it. Many congratulations, Anisha Gupta. Can we have a wolf howl from Raj and Anisha? Okay, I don't know if that was a wolf, but let's move on. The best speech evaluator did not know that she was a speech evaluator. She has the same initials as I have, and essentially the same last name as well. But many congratulations, Roli Sinha. Great job done there. I look forward to having you one day as a grammarian. You should listen to her as a grammarian. She's one of the best. Then, best auxiliary role player was not the grammarian today, and not the counter, who by the way had more than 10 hours. It was diligently changing the timing screens, Alisa Schneider. And just to put things in perspective, Alisa gave a speech till about 1:30 in the morning. She was in a meeting, and then she turns up and does this as a timer. If that is not excellence, I do not know what is. Great job, Alisa. Now coming to the best role player. Honestly, if I had won the best role player today, I would have probably forfeited my award. And yes, Shaurendra Bhaumik, you are one of the best table topic masters out there. Deepraj, if you ever get a chance, do get him as a table topics master. But today, the winner of the best role player award is the person who suggested a wolf howl to a lion in the first place. Many congratulations, Anna Whistler. Woohoo! Okay, that was a wolf howl, I think. And the best speaker for today, champion, all the best. See you in the World Championship of Public Speaking Finals. That is a wonderful speech, a heartfelt speech. Many congratulations, Kim Ang. Thank you so very much for sharing that experience with us. I actually felt thankful that I did not win at the district level this year, because there was no way that I was winning against that speech. Awesome job done. You showed me a direction as to what I'm supposed to do. With that, I will stop sharing my screen. I will also stop the recording.